how I remember your name. Chad singing My Maria.
We need to sign some TIF on it.
Come on, I don't know if I'm right. Is that what's familiar?
Goes back.
Yes! I got it covered.
Remember, they're the ones that drafted the book.
The ones we were reading. Okay, great.
Isn't it hysterical?
We can get to one of them. Seems to think when it was close enough that they gave away, we could go down. So I think we could go north and the south one, so we just gotta find the right place.
If it leads into the tip, it could be
Problems in finding is not big enough.
Good evening, everyone. You gonna stay up there, Carl, or are you gonna come sit down? At this time, I'll call to order the regularly scheduled board meeting for the Village of Midlothian, September 12th, 2018 at 7 p.m. Roll call, please.
Trustee Caveney?
Here.
Trustee Crowley?
Here.
Trustee Ivan?
Here.
Trustee Killeley? Here. Trustee Gillis? Trustee Kreis?
Here.
Mayor LaRue?
Here.
You have a quorum.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence for our fallen veterans. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And my apologies, I forgot to mention all of our first responders in light of September 11th being yesterday. If you all keep all of their families still in your prayers and thoughts, that'd be wonderful. Is there any members of any village commissions or committees here tonight?
Lord Building Veterans Committee, Mayor Committee, and those of you.
Any members of any local organizations here tonight? Joyce?
Joyce Halsey, Friends of Library, and Local Library.
The Lost King Boy Scout Troop 358.
Welcome. All right. At this time, I will open the floor to public comment. If you'd like to be made a matter of public record, please stand, state your name and address. Carol.
My name is Carol. My address is 14433 Kostner Avenue, Midlothian, Illinois. On 9/12/18 this morning at 4:35 a.m., the sump pump hose is pulled from the backyard and is up at the back of the house next door north. The pipe that was removed is not replaced from the installation of the sump pump system next door north. The driveway next door north is not repaired.
Thank you, Carol. Joyce?
Yes, my name is Joyce Holstein, 5108 148th Street in Midlothian. I just wanted to remind everybody that October the 6th, the library is going to have a book sale, and the library is requesting donations of books for our book sale. Okay?
Thank you. Where do we stand on the Little Free Library for Station 2? Is that still?
Go ahead.
Oh, I just talked to Moulton, my brother's grandson, I believe, is in the building.
Okay.
He was asking us if we can help him install it. So he said it's probably going to be a few weeks.
I think, except for October 17th will be the dedication for it.
Thanks. Anyone else?
I received a donation for People Are Beautiful that but they want to remain anonymous, so it's okay if I give it to
Maggie?
Well, could I get it first to make a copy, and would that be okay?
Sure.
Because I would like to send out, somehow I would like to make sure I'm sending out thank yous. Can I open it up and at least see the amount? Well, I am proud to accept an anonymous $500 donation for Keep Midlothian Beautiful.
Outstanding.
To the anonymous donor, thank you. This will enable us to continue with all of our work as we begin to roll out the program. So, thank you,
Whoever you are.
whoever you are.
Anyone else? Jean?
Sorry. When is the Boy Scout bus going to be moved out of that lot and put back over at the church?
I am not aware of the agreement that was made with the police department, but we're not sure. They're looking for a better home. It's bothering you? Did you know it?
But it just looks tacky over there.
Does it?
It really doesn't belong there.
And actually, the night we had the dedication at the Rain Garden for Jackie Hill, we were struggling that night for parking, severely struggling for parking that evening, where we had to go to the police department a couple times because there were people double parked. So I think we need as much village parking. Would you agree? Would you agree, Chief?
Yeah, I'll make sure we reach out and as soon as they come through.
Because if there's an event at the VFW and then we had an event at the Rain Garden, even if had we not had the event at the Rain Garden, there were cars from the VFW everywhere that evening. They had a private party.
Bill?
I'll comment on the moving of the bus. It was discussed at our committee meeting, Board Scouts. We are in getting a new location to store it, and a new pad was being laid this past week, so hopefully within the next week or two it will be moved out of there.
Thank you, Bill. You have something else? Jean?
Sorry. The parking lot between Kelly, right by the, where Kelly on Days is, and then you have that hookup place. On the far end by the apartment building, there's like 4 semi-trucks. Are they supposed to be over there?
I guess we'll have to look into that. I'm not sure.
Look over there, it's like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, we'll have to find out what that lot is zoned for and allowed to have there. So. Chief, you're all over that?
It's it.
That's it, Chief? Anyone else? Seeing as there's no further public comment, I'll close the floor to public comments and move on to tonight's consent agenda. Number 1, approval of ordinance 2000, authorizing disposal of personal property owned by the Village of Midlothian. Number 2, approval of ordinance 2001, amending Title 3, Chapter 3, Section 3-3-33 of the Village Code to specifically prohibit the Village of Midlothian from use of groundwater as potable water supply. Number 3, approval of Resolution 18-0912-A, finding continuing need for the confidentiality of closed session minutes. Number 4, approval of senior clerk level 3 job description change. Number 5, approval to advertise for senior clerk level 3. 6, approval to purchase 2 2019 police interceptor vehicles for $37,491 each, for a total of $74,982. Number 7, approval of Phase 1 proposal from Kane, McKenna and Associates for the Phase 1 TIF study for the downtown district not to exceed $7,500. Number 8, approval to award the contract for the MFT CDBG street resurfacing project to the lowest bidder, Iroquois Paving Corporation, in the amount of $399,070.90. Number 9, approval of list of bills. Number 10, approval of the July 18 Treasurer's Report. Number 11, approval of July 2018 Building Department Report. Is there any item any trustee would like off of tonight's consent agenda?
Mayor, I'd like to ask number 3 and number 4 be deleted.
Be removed from the consent agenda?
Yes, please.
Anyone else? All right, I am looking for a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda without number 3, approval of resolution 18-0912-A, finding continuing need for confidentiality of closed session minutes, and number 4, approval of senior clerk level 3 job description. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second? Is there a second? Do I have a second? Second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Oh, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Can I ask why we're taking off can I just ask trustee
We'll
Gilliland?
thumbs up for discussion, sure.
Oh, I thought you asked if there was any discussion or questions.
Oh.
My mistake. Comes after this? Okay.
Yeah, wait till it comes back up.
That's fine.
Okay. You're not going to change your mind?
No, I just want to really talk about it.
Okay. I mean, if trustee Cavaney really hammers you, you're not going to change your mind.
I left my hammer at home.
Okay, so I got a motion and a second. Roll call?
Trustee Kreis.
Aye.
Trustee Crowley.
Aye.
Trustee Cavney.
Aye.
Trustee Ivan.
Aye.
Trustee Kilby.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, moving on to trustee business, trustee Kreis.
I just have a couple updates this evening, reminders. Next Thursday, Natalie Creek Trail Steering Committee will be meeting at 10 a.m., and then Keep Midlothian Beautiful meeting will be following at noon. And also, the board, trustee Caveney had requested the addition of the clerk be added for notifications on the Invest and Cook grant. I went back and forth with Tim Egan, Cook County Highway Department, and their legal department. It was acceptable, so I do have
Thank you.
clerk's name was added as well as mine. And they are also asking for a resolution. So could the clerk's office put that on the agenda for next week and just prepare a standard resolution for the Invest and Cook grant application? Okay? And I believe, and tomorrow, Helen Lekovich and I have been asked to do a presentation at the monthly chamber luncheon on Keep Midlothian Beautiful, which we will be doing. And we've been doing a lot of Keep Midlothian Beautiful work behind the scenes. So those are all my updates for this evening.
Thank you, ma'am. Trustee Ivan.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to make a motion to approve the level 3 clerk position, job description.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Now is there any discussion?
Okay.
So let me just ask if I can ask Treasurer Britton on the job description. This is for supervision, is that right?
That is correct.
Okay, so I'm just asking, one, will this person, as is stated on the job description, organize workflow and assign duties as needed?
Yes, under my supervision, correct.
Okay, so should we put that, I know I'm being picky, but I'm just,
Okay, sure.
I mean, they can't just do this themselves, they have to ask you about what the best,
Correct.
Okay.
And I think that is a good idea. We could reflect that in the.
I mean, it says they're under your supervision, but it just, and then the other thing,
Are you talking about adding it to this first bullet point,
yes,
as needed, under the supervision of the treasurer?
under supervision of the treasurer. And number 2 is, one of their jobs going to be to train their subordinates or their level 1s and level 2s? Is that what you envision, or are you going to be doing the training?
So eventually, we have somebody in clerk 3, they would be responsible for at least some of the training.
Okay.
I would still probably be doing some of it myself, but we would divide that up as it goes. You know how sometimes these things are organic and they sort of sort themselves out.
Right. Should that be put in the job description?
Okay, those were some of the, I had sent an email to trustee Ivan, and those were some of my comments too, because I went, and I thought maybe I missed it. I read the job description a number of times, Treasurer Britton. But I thought the purpose of this was to have this employee doing some supervision and some training. And my other question was, would this...
Excuse me, the job description is not related to an employee. It is a job description of
Correct,
what an
but-
employee will be doing.
But it will be related to an employee. And then my other question was, would this employee, whoever you would select, be doing any part of the evaluation of those subordinates as well?
I think they would have some input. They might be sitting in with me when I do the evaluation.
Okay.
They would not do the evaluation and then I do theirs. They would sit in with me while the others were being evaluated.
So would it be appropriate to put something in there about they could provide input for evaluation?
I would do that.
So, based on comments from the trustees, when you guys please send Maggie your requested changes, and you guys can bring it up at the next board meeting.
We can approve it tonight with those changes.
Can we?
Yeah.
Sure.
I would prefer that. I don't want this to wait a whole nother week.
Right,
If we can approve
Well,
it
I was
with
just
two
going to approve
additional...
my job description as is. I'm willing to make the motion
I guess I
to...
should ask you, are you willing to amend your motion to add the changes that were...
Yes, I am willing to amend my motion to add those changes as long as the treasurer agrees with them.
All right. Can you read back the amendments for the record so that we're all know what we're voting on?
One of them is going to be, we're going to add that they would be, they would have minimal, or I don't know how to word this, supervision of employees. They're going to be involved in some training of these employees, and they're going to be providing input for the evaluation.
And they're going to organize the workflow and assign duties under your supervision.
Is that?
Yeah, I think the board will have to pass giving the discretion to the treasurer to add those items.
All right, so I'll modify my motion to allow the treasurer to use her discretion to update the job description as she sees fit. That,
Well, as directed by...
as directed by
the amendment.
You okay with that? Attorney Valdez?
Yes, yes.
Would you amend your second?
I will amend my second
To
to
what?
trustee Ivan's amendment, to his amended motion.
Okay. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Ivan.
Aye.
Trustee Caveney.
Aye.
Trustee Crowley.
Aye.
Trustee Killily.
Aye.
Trustee Kreis.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Well, thank you. September 21st is the employee barbecue during lunch. And I have nothing else to add. No. So, I don't have anything else to add.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Cavity.
Thank you, Mayor. First thing, the carpeting in the front part of the Village Hall is going to be cleaned on Saturday, September 22nd. The cleaning crew's coming in at 9:30. They should be done by noon, 12:15-ish. They are going to be cleaning the carpeting in here all the way forward to the front office and the lobby area, including all the offices, and they are also going to clean all of the fabric seats. I'm asking all the employees and all the trustees to please clean around their desk areas and pick everything up off the floor and put it up on a desk. Garbage cans have to be up, boxes have to be up. The Treasurer Britton is going to speak to our janitorial and make sure that the carpeting is vacuumed edge to edge on Friday night during the routine janitorial. And then the work will be done on that Saturday, and the building department clerks will be here in case there's any questions that the cleaning staff would have. Number 2, building department is I'm working with the staff to update our permit documents so that they're more comprehensive and contain more up-to-date information for our residents. Those documents will be put together in Word format. They will also be available on the village website as fillable PDFs. So anybody can go online, fill the document in, save it, and then email it. Also want to let everybody know that the building department now has its own official email address. It is simply buildingdepartment@villageofmidlothian.org. So that will be announced to everybody as well. I believe I might have a little blurb to go out on the village website about that. And last thing I wanted to discuss, since Jean brought up the parking lot, she had given me an idea. She had brought up this idea about a month or so ago. The Metro lot over here next to Public Works, is that owned by Metro or the village?
Metro.
Metro? Would it be possible for the village to speak to Metro and ask them if we could take over, say, 20 of the spaces on the far south end of that lot? Because I don't believe that that lot is fully used anymore. It's not that full. It doesn't get that full any longer. I'm guessing that it maybe gets 2/3 or 3/4 full at its heaviest usage. So what if we went to Metro and asked them if we could have, use, borrow, license, whatever the term might be, 20 to 25 spaces? And we use those spaces for employees to park in.
You just have to tell the police department not to write the employees' tickets.
Well, we would mark those spaces, for the village of Midlothian. And like the firemen can park there because they're not using their personal vehicle during the day. The policemen can park there because they're not using their personal vehicles.
I think it's a great idea.
Some of the front office staff can park there. And then some of the overflow vehicles that we have that are sitting over here can be parked over there in the back. Any of the impound vehicles, the Boy Scout bus.
I could reach out to them to find out if they have any problems with it.
Well, if I...
We take all the money and we maintain it and...
Yeah,
our
if we
police
maintain
department
it, yeah.
writes the tickets.
So that's suggestion number 1.
Could I just comment on, I was on the phone today with Michael Horsting from the RTA, talking about some other issue. And we were talking about how our Phase 2 transportation plan has totally changed. I have been giving it a good read. He told me, and I told him exactly that lot is probably only 2/3 full on most days. And that the patterns of commuters have changed. People work from home. For whatever reason, that lot is just, we don't need a parking garage like we did when we adopted the plan. He said to me, something for you to think about. Metro is now doing land swaps with municipalities, permanent land swaps. We would have to identify some other space for them that the village owned. But if we wanted to do that long-term and acquire that space, he said they've done it with 2 or 3 municipalities. I don't know how it's done. I don't know which ones. And we would have to find land we could swap with them. I have some ideas, but we could think about that as a long-term goal and maybe not so long-term.
But for the short term.
The short term.
At least get those spaces for the short term. The other suggestion, part B to that, would be when the parking lot next to the rain garden gets completed, I'm assuming that part of that whole project is going to include striping.
Yeah, I'm not sure with the permeable pavers how that works.
Well, I'm sure somehow it's got to be marked.
Yes, yeah, it's got to be marked.
So, in conjunction with that, the village works with the VFW to also try to restripe theirs, because right now, even after that parking lot's done, aside from the fact that the south end is going to look brand new, there's going to be no delineation. No one's going to know or care that part of it belongs to the village and part of it belongs to the VFW. So my thought is that the village work together with the VFW, and we look at the new parking lot plus the VFW parking lot, plus all of the asphalt going east to where all the old cars and stuff are parked now, and we have that whole area restriped. You know, and then that way, it'll give everyone better identification of what available parking spaces are. You know, because right now, on the east end, by the corner of the rain garden, you've got spaces that are lined out that are 2 cars deep. You know, and God forbid one of us pulls in there one day and we're working on the garden, sometimes we get pinned in. So if that whole area can be restriped, I think that would be to everybody's benefit, to the VFW's benefit, to the village's benefit. Then if we can move some of our cars that are not being used all the time off-site to the metro lot, I think that's a win-win for everybody. VFW will have more parking spaces for their patrons, you know?
Not meaning to complicate
And-
this, trustee, but lately the village has run into some headwind with regard to enforcing our landscaping ordinance with regard to parking lots. And I'm a little bit sheepish to say that I don't know that what has been described with this parking lot would necessarily be in compliance with our own requirements for landscaping parking lots.
This sounds a whole lot like a discussion for a committee meeting.
Okay, that's fine.
And again, I'm
Well,
just,
the parking issue was brought up and Jean was here, so I thought I would just throw that out there. We can put it on the agenda for next week if you don't mind, Deputy Clerk.
Thank you.
Village parking,
Overall,
yeah.
is there anything else? We will be discussing something for your agenda at closed session, and
Yes.
it will be, I hope, action afterwards. So,
Thank you. That's all I have for the time being.
Trustee Kilby.
I just have 2 informational things. The Illinois Municipal League Convention is between the 20th and the 22nd, and has some lot of vendors there, and sometimes when you go to vendors, you learn a lot and you find people that you can use, and also has some great workshops. In particular for me there was some good ones on Saturday. 3, unfortunately, they were all at the same time period. So I'm hoping I can coax a couple other of us to especially go Saturday, because I'm not schizophrenic where I can be 3 places in one time. So I'd like, I think that information is very valuable if we can learn it. You can look at the summary of the workshops afterwards, but it doesn't quite, and you can get, some of the papers from them, but it doesn't quite fill the bill. So I'm hoping that if we can do Saturday morning, I think that would be very good. As far as the newsletter, I have submissions from 2 different people so far, so I'm looking forward to getting more submissions. And that's all I have.
And you want to talk about the...
Do I want to talk about it?
Closed session meeting, you took off the consent agenda?
Well, should I wait till the clerk, or should I do it now?
Well, I can't make a motion to vote on something, so if you wanted to take it off, so.
Well,
Bring it up.
it's just, the only reason I took it off is because I think I bought 2 closed sessions that I believe we can make their minutes open. And I don't know how that's done, and I probably should have been done with it earlier, but maybe the attorney can advise me.
yes, I have been informed and have reviewed the items that you have requested be released as no longer complying with the requirements to remain closed, and I concur with your opinion, trustee, that there is no lawful reason for us, pursuant to the one item regarding an issue that's still, it's only 1 sentence, I believe, those items, we do not have legal basis to keep closed anymore, so.
Can you share with us the dates?
October 4th and October 25th, 2017.
Did we just decide this?
That was his recommendation.
That would be my recommendation.
Well,
within the last
before we
48
vote, I
hours.
would like the opportunity to read those minutes, so, okay, you said it was October 4th and when?
25th,
October, okay.
October 4th, on what date?
October 25th, 2017.
Well, we don't have those, can we put this off till next week or the week after? Are we under a time crunch for this?
No, we can put it off, it's fine.
Because I would personally prefer to keep all of our closed session meeting minutes confidential, but if Don's recommending we take 2 off, then I'd like to read those minutes to
Yeah,
make
and-
sure that I'm comfortable with that.
And again, pursuant to the Open Meetings Act provisions regarding closed sessions, the board makes a specific finding every 6 months by law that there is legal basis to keep those particular minutes closed. It's not unusual for municipalities to have general resolutions every 6 months, making those specific findings. It's just easier. It's, it avoids the risk of a unintentional disclosure of something that violates a person's privacy or attorney-client privilege. Pursuing to that, Trustee Kelly identified a couple of items from those particular closed meetings. I reviewed them. They are items specifically that the board does not have a legal basis anymore to disclose. I checked all of the exemptions.
To keep closed.
To keep
You mean
closed.
to keep
To
closed.
keep closed, yes, to keep closed. And none of the materials discussed in those particular meetings cited by Trustee Kelly no longer have a legal basis to be kept confidential, except one item, which I can disclose to you.
Well, then maybe we should keep that one on the list then.
Well, yes. I think that's what I'm saying right now, is that one item that I identified as still having a legal basis to be kept confidential
Then that
should be
then that
kept
should remain
confidential.
on this list.
Yes, that should not be on this list. That's my
No,
legal
it should
opinion.
remain on this list is what I'm saying.
It should remain closed.
It should remain
Yes, it
closed,
remain
yes.
closed.
That one item.
Okay.
The
well,
other
Can we
items.
discuss it in closed session?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
So what is the date we're looking to remove?
October 4th and October 25th.
I thought there was just one.
No, there's just one because Attorney Valadez just
Oh.
said that there was an item on there. There's one.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Which-
I wasn't paying attention.
There are multiple subjects on the dates. And of the 3 subject matters which Trustee Kelly identified as being released, 2 of them, we no longer have a basis to keep confidential. One of them, in my opinion, we do.
And fine, which meeting date was that, the 4th or the 25th?
I would have
I
to.
believe it's the 20, wait a minute, hang on a second. I think it is I believe you're going to talk about the 4th. There's something to do with, okay.
Yeah, and again, we
Yeah.
can
We can
discuss
look at
this
it
in
again.
executive session. I'll explain it fully, and then
I
board can
don't
come up.
believe we're prepared to vote on this right
Right
now.
now, correct.
So may,
Trustee Kelly brought this up this afternoon to Trustee Crowley, so.
To me, and I sent it to the attorney.
All right, anything else, Trustee Kelly?
no, s-
Trustee Crowley?
Oh, thank you, sir. I just have a couple things. What am I doing here? Totally lost my train of thought now, sorry. First, I wanted to discuss and ask the board for approval to hire a full-time police officer from our lateral transfer list. And this was the list that was recommended by the Police and Fire Commission. We didn't discuss it last week, but all of the background and everything came back, so I didn't put it under the, that's why I sent it to everybody, I think, on Friday or Monday. And I didn't put it under the consent agenda so we could discuss it, and if no one has a problem, we can approve it.
You making a motion?
Well, I was opening it up for discussion first, but if nobody has any questions, then I would be making a motion to hire.
I have no questions and no discussions.
I'll second the motion then.
All right, now, any more discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Crowley.
Aye.
Trustee Ivan.
Aye.
Trustee Kavney.
Aye.
Trustee Killy.
Aye.
Trustee Kreis.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next, I'm glad you brought up the newsletter. I totally forgot. I did get a packet from the police department, but I wanted to make sure it was okay for us to keep that open and send it to you maybe Friday or
Yes, yes, of
Monday.
course.
Because we had a couple things we
Yes.
wanted to go over on what we're putting on
Not
there.
surprising.
Okay, is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, I just didn't want you to think
Thank
it was
you.
late. Grant update, the police department was again awarded a nice substantial grant for our traffic enforcement. Our grant was raised this year by about $15,000, I believe, maybe a little bit more, to do campaigns. We were asked by, what is it, IDOT? We were asked by IDOT if we would be interested in applying for a grant to do these traffic campaigns at times other than what they depict, like holidays and around New Year's Eve and things like that. And so the police department did apply, and we did get a $65,000 overtime grant this year.
Nice.
Which will go to pay for all of that overtime. So, great update, great news. Thank you very much, Chief. I had said at last week's meeting that I would have the job description for the part-time animal care and control officer. Unfortunately, I had a few things come up and I wasn't able to finish that, so I do plan on having it for the board's review for next week, and I hope to have that out by Friday. Couple updates, Coffee with a Cop. Our second Coffee with a Cop will be 10/3. And our second senior seminar will be tomorrow. And I believe that is all I have. One more thing. Joe, I know Don talked to you about the gentleman that walked around the last time and did the structural engineering. He was concerned about that wall. I was wondering if you could possibly reach out to someone and have someone come take a look at it. I want to make sure that if there's some structural issues, we address them for safety. Would you please? I know we're in the middle of a lot of different things, but I just...
What do you want, an engineer?
I don't know what I want. I just want someone that knows what they're doing to come out and say, this is safe, this isn't safe. I don't want our employees or public being in jeopardy.
Structural engineer. Bricklayer's gonna tell you you need new bricks. It's under $80,000.
I'm going to tell, that's probably more than I could tell you. So I'm not sure who we would call, but I do think we need to have someone look at that right away to make sure that there's no safety issues for the public. Thanks, Joe. And then second, with regards to the structural evaluation of the building, I have a gentleman that wanted to come, that I talked to a few weeks ago, that did the walkthrough, wanted to come back on Tuesday. He had a conflict. He rescheduled for this Friday. So he will be coming around to take a few pictures to give us the quote. And as I was thinking about it, writing up all my notes, I thought since we're going through all of this, we might as well have all the department heads kind of start thinking and putting in place their own needs assessment. So when we get to a point that we're discussing all of this together, we can make sure everybody has at least an idea of what their needs are, if they're being met, if they're not being met, what they'd like to see village-wide, and start talking about a plan for going forward. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Move on to department heads. Chief Hotwagner.
Yes, sir. A couple things. We have our cancer shirts on sale now. As I saw on our Facebook page, there's some brochures up here. The cancer shirts got a new design. One of them's going about the old fire engine we had from the 1940s. So they're available online. You can hit the website on the page. Off the fire department Facebook page or off the link here on the paper. We are doing it to a store now because last year we had a lot of orders and people didn't pick them up and stuff. So easier there. You go to the store, you can order it, pay for it, and you get them shipped to the firehouse or directly to your house. So that's the cancer shirts. Also, we're doing a fundraiser again on October 6th in Slapshots. Same one we did last year. And we're going to have T-shirts available. Just limited sizes in T-shirts only. In Slapshots October 6th at 6 p.m. And tickets for our fundraiser should be out in the mail toward the end of the month sometime.
And we'll be doing the winners announcement at Pancake Breakfast, which will be October 14th. Grades 12 at Station 1. That's all.
Thank you, sir. Chief Delaney. Oh.
If we ordered shirts online and picked them up at the firehouse, you'll tell us when they're ready, or is there a date?
There's a date on it. If you order it by, I think it's the 15th, they're going to be there by, I think, the 27th.
Okay.
And then we'll have it there at Ag, your name on it, paid for.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
What time is the fundraiser?
Fundraiser is October 6th at 6 p.m. 5 shots.
Chief Delaney. Superintendent Sperry.
Yeah, a few updates. The meat market demo, I spoke with the contractor and the plumber that hired to do this disconnects. They were supposed to start today, no show.
They were a no-show?
Yeah. Met them out there yesterday, and then they said they were going to have the excavator dropped off today. They were going to get started right away. So I'll call them in tomorrow.
I got an update from Gwen. She said they're supposed to deliver machines tomorrow. They were supposed to come today?
Tomorrow, Friday.
Tells me, he asked if they can.
Is this Horizon, or is this the
Sam,
yeah, oh,
I talked to him directly.
did they already take care of disconnecting the sewer and the water? That's not been done yet?
He brought the plumber out yesterday. I told him I wanted to speak with the plumber, make sure he was legit, knew what he was supposed to do. They're gonna use the same machine to excavate it. It's the same guy that did the plumbing over at the post office. You gotta watch him pretty. So anyway, he was really concerned about getting all the fines dropped, and I said, you could take that up with the village. I said, but this is the only way we can motivate you to get out of it, you know. Well, yeah, just take the fines off. Be prepared for that. Post office, I spoke with the postmaster, I was in there yesterday. He's hoping by October 1st to be open. For what it's worth, I don't put it on Facebook. Put it here. Get me on this update, you know. Thirdly, the access to transit grant, you know, it's at a standstill right now because I got disapproved the equipment that they were going to put out there, the bases and the poles out there. They disapproved. Why, I don't know.
Are you talking about our pedestrian lighting poles?
Yes.
The ones that we labored over and argued over the color, they disapproved them?
It's because they're not blue and white.
Yeah, they want.
That's your fault, Carl. I'm going to blame trustee Ivan on that.
I don't know what the
I'll second.
problem is with them. All I know is that they disapproved them, and now the electrical contractor's working with them to see what other options they can come up with, so nothing can be done. There's a lot of open concrete that still will be done after that.
We picked those months ago, and they're just telling us now they don't like them?
All we do is pick the color.
It's probably nothing to do with the color. It's probably.
No, I thought that we even got to pick the style of the light fixture.
It probably has to do with the concrete.
Yeah, Tom might
Yeah.
be able to speak to it more. No.
Tom who?
I got this from his perspective.
And just to be clear, the whole board did not labor over that decision.
No, but we're going to harass trustee Ivan about it,
Coming
though.
up October 1st, or the first Monday in October starts in north and south. That's all.
Thank you, sir.
Joe, those sidewalk pictures that I sent you originally, the ones with the damage by the train station,
Yeah.
they only fixed one, just so you know.
Did you send me one or two?
4.
We still have to do the
Okay,
punch list.
just so you know, they did one, they came out and did one and they put sod down, but they didn't fix the other 3.
I have to look and see which ones they have. Talking about over on, just north of the driveway, that is where there was
Yeah.
4 squares to the road. Because I just remember something wrong with one of them, it looked like a
4.
barricade falling.
Yeah, there's 4 of them. Yeah, I mean, they look like the same, it almost looks like someone's, well, whatever, it doesn't matter. Just so you know, they fixed
We
one.
have to do a final walkthrough and everything, so that'll be addressed then.
Yeah.
And they're not gonna come out and just fix 2, they have to come back and do all this concrete.
They did
around
one.
The poles. Yeah, I don't know why they did that.
I think we're on the same page. That's it?
That's all I got.
Engineer Nagel.
Yes, Mayor, I got one item. I want to talk about the access to transit grant that we just submitted. And I got a quick presentation. This kind of goes hand in hand. 2 weeks ago, there was a resident, there was this lady here, asking about updates on grants. And so this is a nice grant that we put in. We want to be able to show everybody what it looks like. This will only be about 2 or 3 minutes. So we did an access for transit grant where a sidewalk was going to connect the metro station with the roads on Pulaski. So this gives you a quick example of what we're looking at. Right up here, on the top part, where the metro station is, you see where the red box is, red and yellow. We're going to put a sidewalk back behind Public Works and where the parking lot is. We're going to tie into where the rain garden is. We're going to have the grant traverse through the rain garden, and it's going to be impervious pavement coming through where the rain garden is. So here's where we started from in the beginning. So the first thing that's going to happen from this, and looking where the stairs are, we're going to have a handicap ramp going out to the south. And then the sidewalk is going to go in that location, on both locations there, between the parking lot and where the vegetation is. And we're going to come back behind Public Works. So this is something really important that Joe asked for, Mr. Sperry asked for. He wanted to make sure that we could secure the Public Works. We don't have people walking back there and going back into it, so we put in the grant and the application for putting a fence there. So we would decorate the fence running through it, too, in that location only. This location where the fence is and where the sidewalks will be going to. So then right here we get to the rain garden. We're going to diverse the rain garden, avoiding where the certain plantings are. And we're going to need to get input from the village and not just from the rain ready group where they want it. And it's going to be meandering through there. We think this is a great opportunity for the village to take to sort of educate the residents on stormwater management, on vegetation and flora and fauna. I mean, we think it's going to be great to get people walking through there on a daily basis. And then we're going to come out here on Pulaski Avenue. So this is just a recap of what was submitted. We met the criteria of the grant. We're connecting residents who no longer have to drive, and we're looking for a CMAQ grant, which is congestion mitigation air quality grant, and encouraging people to be walking and biking to where the train station is. So as far as costs go on this, there's a phase 1 which is already partially approved. And the phase 1 was approved about in 2014, I think, and we're going to amend it. This cost up there you see for $25,000 for the phase 1, that's worst case scenario. That's the event that IDOT says we're not going to accept the partially approved phase 1. We're going to try to modify it. Modify it could be $6,000, $7,000. That's where we think it's going to be going. And after that we go into a cost sharing. We got phase 2, which is called the plans. We got the construction, and phase 3 is the construction observation. The way the grant is set up is that CMAQ is going to get 80% of the cost, and 20% is on the locals, which would be the village. But RTA is going to get 10% of your 20%. So in the end, you're only putting 10% in on the project. So if you look at this, you got a $533,000 job. The village's share is $75,000 left. That's like a 7 to 1. So you put $1 up, the feds and RTA puts up 7. So we think it's a great opportunity to take advantage. And you took advantage with the other RTA grant they're building now. And then as far as the timeline goes, and it's a little hard to read, and I apologize for this, but I just want people to recognize going through the federal process is laborious. And what has to happen here to get a couple approvals, we got to get our application approved by the RTA. And the RTA's got to submit the application to CMAP. Now CMAP stands for Chicago Area.
CMAP is Chicago Metropolitan
Agency for Planning.
Yeah. And then once CMAP has it, CMAP's going to submit it for a CMAP, which is Congestion Mitigation Air Quality Grant. If the Congestion Mitigation Air Quality Grant is approved, then it gets an IGA between CMAP and the RTA. And then after that, the federal agreements have to get approved. The federal agreements take about 6 to 7 months. Then you got to do the phase 2 design work. Then you got to get and then phase 2 design work's got to be at IDOT 6 months prior to the letting date. So you see how this could stretch out. This thing could stretch out from 2018 to 2020 and 21. But that's just what you have to do if you want to take advantage of federal funds on it. So in the end, when everything is done and you went through RTA, you went through CMAP, you went through CMAP, you had a IGA done, and you had all the IDOT federal approvals done, you got everything, and you're A-OK then. So all the acronyms are down there at the bottom, right? And that's pretty much it. You know, that's it. We're proud of this. We think it's exciting. Hope we got a good chance to get it, but keep in mind, it is a political environment. We already got a grant. We already got a grant for $1 million. Okay, and even some of the criteria that says that they're going to award the money on a regional basis, which means that it all can't come down to the southern suburbs and come to the northern suburbs and move things around. But we think we had an excellent job here. It shows that it meets the quality and the criteria of the grant. So.
Thank you, Tom.
That was it.
Can I just clarify? So to get the sidewalk from the back of the train station all the way over here is $500,000?
Yes, ma'am. It's about, I think it's close to half a mile. And then there's handicap ramps, there's lighting also, I apologize, there's lighting going. The same type of lighting you're getting on 147th Street will be there too.
Oh, you mean the lighting that was denied?
It will start picking the color now.
Yeah. It's not going to be blue.
And white.
Go.
Okay,
That's it, that's all I got.
thank you, sir. Want to thank trustee Ivor for finally getting the TV working. Now the
Trustee
doors,
Ivan, we need another one over there so I can see over there.
the door's
So
missing.
we got, you know.
We got the TV going, but the door's missing, so.
That's because we're gonna get the glass door. That's gonna be, I think, tomorrow, right?
Yes, he told me it can be delivered tomorrow. Treasurer Britton, do you have anything tonight?
I do, I have two things.
Wow.
First time I've had anything, so.
Yes.
And I apologize to trustee Ivan, usually I let him speak, I forgot to give this to him. So Horton, our insurance broker, is going to be coming here on Friday with some updates regarding the renewal in December. And it's going to be September 14th at 9:30. Anybody can come if they would like. They're just going to let us know what the trends are right now. And then Stephen Roberts from Baird is coming on September 21st at 2 o'clock. You remember, he is our bond people, he's our bond person, and he's going to be talking about giving us some updates. And he's hoping that we have a good idea of what we think the police station is going to cost.
No.
No?
We're just doing the RFQs now. I mean, we're still hoping to stay in in the budget that we had talked about at the finance committee, but we're just,
You won't have, okay.
we won't have dollars for,
You won't have exact, okay, well then we'll just at least talk about refunding and projects in general. Again, September 21st at 2, anybody can come, and I can make sure that I let everybody know, the trustees, in case you'd like to attend. I'll make sure though that you get some updates.
I thought we were going to do that at a finance committee meeting.
He just wants to update, he's coming with bond counsel, so it's not about finance stuff, it's more of, timing, the ordinance, do we want to talk about tax exempt versus taxable bond, it's all that kind of stuff. And then I'll make sure to send a little synopsis after the meeting. And that's all I have.
Thank you, ma'am. Deputy Clerk Kalecki. Okay. Attorney Valdez.
The village's streak of not being named as a defendant in the suit came to an end last week when it was named as a defendant in a trip and fall case. I did attend the moves court for specific respondents, one of them being the Dollar Tree premises, which had chronic litter complaints, and was able to secure a $600 fine assurance from the Dollar Tree that the new manager is aware of the village's concern. We got a phone number to address those concerns in the future. And the rest of the items will be for closed session.
The one item.
The one item.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Under my business, I think Deputy Clerk Kalecki gave everyone copies of the Trustee Christ had asked Executive Director of Keep Midlothian Beautiful, Deputy Clerk Kalecki, to try to get the Keep Midlothian Beautiful insignia somehow onto our letterhead. So there were some examples left on your chairs. Did you guys? I thought it'd be something that the board should agree to, since it is the official Village Midlothian letterhead.
I just have to say, I would like to run this by the creative board of KMB. I do need letterhead, and I may use this just in the interim to get some of the letters out, but the creative team is really Helen Lekovich and Chris Parker. And this really is not the brand logo. It's not our logo. So I would like to show this too. The logo is what Kathy has on her shirt.
Yeah, we got that.
Yeah, well, that is the logo. that's
No,
on
I know, but it's...
Watermark, but.
It's watermarked, it's
Yeah.
not in color, so I think
Did
it
you,
loses
did you
some...
did you bring us, give us a copy of the one
The other one?
that had it up here? Oh, okay.
Jared has it.
There's a couple examples with it down in the corner, up in the top corner, but the colors don't. I mean, all I'm saying is the board would have to agree to this before it got actually
Yeah.
used in
Okay.
process. All right, so you're gonna take it back to,
Well, I would like whatever examples you have, so I could run it by Chris and Helen and get their input, because I'm not a creative person, but they are, and I think they might be able to come up with some ideas or suggestions. I have a stack of letters that need to go out, even thank you letters, so I've got to start. Nobody has a problem, I may just use this to get some of these thank yous out and some of these initial letters out that I've got to get out. We've got a meeting next week, and I've been working on things, but I haven't had letterhead. So if there's some additional samples, I could get them.
does anyone have a problem with the watermark?
No. If you want to use that one for your thank you
temporary.
letters, go ahead, but maybe hold off on those other letters.
Well, they're supposed to all be done by, I feel, we have a meeting next week, and
Well, we could probably get them done by,
I hope.
figured out tomorrow or Friday.
Okay, moving on. Speaking of slap shots, Saturday, September 22nd is their one-year anniversary, and they are inviting everyone to their anniversary party from 12 to 4. They will have a dunk tank, and I have volunteered to be in the dunk tank for a short period of time.
Do we have a time?
They also requested any other board members that would like to join us in the dunk tank, including department heads.
Oh, the chiefs. There you go.
12 to 4,
I'll hold
slap
your
shots
radios.
over on Cicero. So congratulations to them for making their one-year anniversary. Hold on, Joyce, I got something for you. Let's see, Comcast. Continuing effort to keep you informed and as a courtesy, beginning October 1st, 2018, the program displayed on leased access channels 103 and 1075 RT will be discontinued. This change does not impact the status of the channels themselves, which remained leased access channels available for lease. I have no idea what that means. Trustee Christ brought to your attention the Chamber of Commerce meeting tomorrow at 11:30 or noon at Bellamia. Goodwill is having a fashion show and boutique Friday evening, October 12th. It will be somewhere. The Halls of St. George in Schererville, Indiana. Together We Cope is having a Pasta and Ponies 2018, Wednesday, October 17th. Buffets at 6, races begin at 7. It is at the Payless Country Club. That's all I have. Clerk Moskowitz.
Just two items in the board's packet are copies of the FOIA reports for the months of July and August for your perusal. And I also received a letter from Bremen High School requesting the board's approval to conduct their door-to-door canned food drive again, which they do every fall, winter. Would be taking place from November 26th through December 7th. Collections would occur after school from 2 to 5 p.m. Mondays through Friday. And this is sponsored by their National Honor Society. I think they've been doing this for as long as I can remember. So if the board does not object, we will send them a letter.
No objection.
No objection.
Okay. And that is all I have.
Thank you, sir. At this time, I am looking for a motion to adjourn to closed session
I'll make the motion.
to discuss the appointment, basically the compensation of a specific employee of the public body, and to discuss collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees or the representatives.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, sorry, hold on.
Include a discussion on minutes. That Don just had.
Oh, yeah. We'd also, will be discussing the resolution regarding continuing the need for confidentiality of certain closed session minutes. You will amend your motion?
I'll amend the motion to
I'll
include that.
amend my second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? There will be action following closed session. We will make this a brief closed session.
Not if I can open, sir.
I can
Oh, I
count.
can, of course.
I knew I could count on you.
Gary, do you have other samples of the
Yeah, Maria was
Got my two-wheeler.
Maria was really playing around with it, moving it around.
I just want him to show Helen and...
My colors just, yeah, I think that's it.
Don and I talked about this, that it's Congress, it's a decision you gotta make.
So I want to make sure we're in line with their one shared brand too.
You got that?
Yes, that's the one she gave. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Already on my email.
That was interesting talking to me. I didn't see it. About something.
Where did this old school come from?
What's his name? Walker? Supposed to be shades. Shades.
Gary, you actually the left that
There she is. Can you?
Sure, trying to backpedal now, aren't you?
At this time, I'm looking for a motion to return to open session.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. On the agenda would be, I'm looking for a motion to approve the extension, oh my God. Read that for me, Ray.
Okay. Am I making the motion, or are you
Right.
making the motion?
You can make it.
I'd like to make the motion to approve the extension of an offer of an employment to a candidate for the position of building superintendent, as was discussed in executive session.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Katie.
Aye.
Trustee Crowley.
Aye.
Trustee Ivan.
Aye.
Trustee Killy.
Aye.
Trustee Kreis.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
At this time, I'm looking for a motion to approve the resolution finding continuing need for confidentiality of certain closed session minutes without October 25th, 2017.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion?
Excuse me, I think it was supposed to be October 4th. Wasn't it?
No, we're releasing the 25th.
That's a good.
Oh, I apologize. I misunderstood. I
Exempting the
apologize.
25th.
Exempting the 25th. They can
Oh,
be released.
I thought he said, I thought he
No, it
I
is
thought
the
he said,
20 It is the
sorry,
25th.
wrong one. I heard him wrong, sorry.
It is the 25th.
Sometimes do you hear the circus music playing in your head?
We're releasing the 25th.
Yeah,
It's no
releasing,
longer, okay,
okay.
got it, okay.
Did I get a motion in a second?
Yes.
Okay, roll call, please.
Trustee Crowley.
Aye.
Trustee Kreis.
Aye.
Trustee Katie.
Aye.
Trustee Ivan.
Aye.
Trustee Killy.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you all so much. Seeing as there's no further business coming before the board, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. Meeting adjourned.
Sorry, Ellen.
When you start pushing us here at 9 o'clock, we get a little...
On a board meeting.